Happy summer solstice, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Foolish Fish Esoteric News with your weekly updates on the worlds of esoteric and occult book publishing and arts and events and paraphernalia. And thank you so much once again to miskatonicbooks.com for sponsoring the show. It means so much to me, Miskatonic Books, and that you would support the channel like this, that you would support this particular show to keep it available going in, week out. Miskatonicbooks.com. If you don't know them yet, they are a fantastic resource if you are looking for difficult to find occult books. If you're living in the US and, for example, you're trying to buy books that have been published outside of the US, miskatonicbooks.com regularly import books to save you on the shipping side of things, and they ship internationally as well. So, for example, miskatonicbooks.com also regularly get in difficult to find out of print books. So books that you might be searching for, and it doesn't matter where you live in the world. If there's a book that you are looking for, and even if miskatonicbooks.com don't have that book in their stock at the moment, you can put in your email address and under the particular page of that book, and they will contact you as soon as they get the book in, just to let you know that they got the book in, so you can then decide if you still want that book or not. It's a fantastic resource, as I say. Go and check out miskatonicbooks.com for all your esoteric and occult book needs. All right, let's move on to news from Hadean Press. So the Magical Art paperback edition is now shipping. The Magical Art by Arman Lamba is a book that we've all been really waiting for. It took a little bit longer than expected, but we're pleased to let you know that the paperback edition is now shipping to customers. We've had some unexpected delays with this title. Some of you have asked if it'll appear on Amazon, and the answer is yes, likely at the end of this month. The hardcover edition is currently printing, but we will send out another update when it is ready to ship. There's still some copies available to pre-order, but we don't expect them to last long. We've also added a few pages to the website where we're posting short service updates. Because the service updates seem to be happening from time to time, the website, the Hadean Press website, is going to be the place to go ahead and find out about those service updates. And then, of course, Elizabeth and Lucy from Hadean Press are going to be at the Magical Women Conference in Birmingham. So that's going to be happening on the 21st and 23rd of June. I guess they're traveling at the time that I'm speaking. Let me see, I'm recording on Thursday, 20th of June. So yes, that's happening this weekend. As I told you many times in previous editions of the Esoteric News. So there we go. Tickets are still available, so if you'd like to come join them, please do. There we go. All right, and then, of course, news from Frater Ichor, whose titles are being taken out of print at the end of June at his request. This includes Speculum Terrae, Clavis Goetica, and Goetic Atavisms. If you have any questions about this decisions, you must ask Frater Ichor. We promise there is a good reason, but it is his news to share. So when I started reading that sentence, I thought to myself, what's going on? Is there some kind of problem? But it sounds like it's not a problem. Those last few words sounds like it could be something exciting. Of course, we'll need to wait until we know a little bit more. But I'm very curious, as I'm sure I'm not the only one to be curious about those interesting words there. Okay, news from David Hymes-Smith. A mystical commentary on the book of Lambspring. So this is the new installment in his very rapidly growing series of paperback books. This is a commentary on the Book of Lambspring, which is an esoteric classic from the 17th century. So this is an esoteric interpretation of that text. The book differs from many alchemical works by almost entirely avoiding overt references to physical laboratory processes. Instead, the material provides an overview of the arc of mystical transmutation and a set of deep inner transformations that are pointed out in the commentary. The complete text and cycle of 15 emblematic engravings are presented, alongside a detailed analysis that is articulated through the Kabbalistic symbol system. It sounds like, once again, it's going to be a very, very exciting installment, a very exciting work from David Heim-Smith. And I'm just, again, very, very excited, very, very curious to see what's going to be included. 108 pages, 42 images. So yeah, that's over on the 32keys.com. I'll leave links in the description. We have news from David Beth from Theon Publishing. So this is the new book that it's just been announced, I guess. So it's going to be available for pre-order and shipping soon. Advanced copies are dropping in already. The book contains a section with interviews with notable practitioners on the Dark Man. So the Dark Man was kind of covered in the book The Faceless God. So this is going into a little bit more detail there. We've got a foreword by Peter Mark Adams. Very excited for this new book. This does look to me like it might, I don't know, it doesn't necessarily look like their traditional hardcover covers. I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm curious. This looks more like a paperback, or alternatively a dust cover. Not sure how this is going to work out, or maybe it is in fact a stamp. No idea, but it sounds kind of interesting. No news of it that I could see on the Theon Publishing website. Certainly no pre-orders yet that I was able to find. Right, but of course you can still order all the books that are still extant through their web store. News from Black Letter Press: they've got a summer sale, up to 40% off. It'll depend on the publication, of course. But if you head over to blackletterpress.com, you'll find that many of the books have got a significant reduction on them. Definitely go and check out the various wonderful publications from Black Letter Press, including Hidden Paths. There we go. The book that Black Letter Press very kindly published of the transcripts of my Esoteric Saturday videos. Right, you can click on Shop Now and find out that the second edition is currently being sold for €48 rather than the usual 60. If you've been waiting for a moment for those prices to drop, then now could be the right time. And then another sale happening, certainly not an insignificant one, at Anathema Publishing. 20% off site-wide between June 21st and June 23rd at anathemapublishing.com. So you'll need to use the code Volcano20 upon checkout. But if you just head over to Anathema Publishing, that's not on any of the pre-orders, right, which have been removed. You can see them currently at $0, but you just can't order them at the moment. Basically, it's just so that everything else on the website can benefit from this 20% off. Incredible sale. Very, very impressive. We can see now that Aurora has completely sold out, as was kind of predicted a couple of weeks ago. But yes, everything else over here, just pop it into your cart, add that code Volcano20, and just head over to checkout. So just a little reminder also that quite recently, Anathema Publishing reduced their shipping costs internationally, right? So international shipping costs are much cheaper than they have been in the past. Definitely worth checking out. News from Adam McLean. So this was kind of a sad post on Facebook. So he's talking about his upcoming work. Adam McLean has been working quite intensely on some alchemical translations, many alchemical translations. And I was, it's, no, I was able to find a website, and I can't seem to, I don't know, I guess I didn't add it to the list of pages to show you. I'm so sorry. Let me just head over to his page as soon as I've read this bit over here. Sales remain extremely low. A number of titles have not even sold a single copy this year, and most only achieve 3 or 4 copies a year. I have no time to market these. This would eat into my translation time and slow down my production. I need an active marketing strategy, but this is beyond me. Of course, alchemy is an obscure subject. Few people, even among the esoteric community, will have heard of most of these works that I've translated, preferring to stick with the small body of texts readily available on the internet. Their window into alchemy is consequently rather limited, though they may not mind this. My enthusiasm for alchemy texts is not reciprocated. Perhaps in time, news of my translation may percolate out and reach a wider audience. At the moment, I seem to be publishing into a vacuum. That's sad to read, right? So actually, if I just head over to Adam's Facebook page over here, I'm first of all surprised by how little self-promoting is going on here. But this post over here has got an interesting page. That page seems to be Adam's web bookshop. So if you scroll down here, you'll see that there's a huge amount of work, an enormous number of alchemical texts that Adam has translated. And if you click on any of those, it'll take you to the corresponding Amazon web store, right? The Amazon page where you can purchase this particular translation. But yes, it's just an enormous number of translations. Let's have a look. The 12 Royal Palaces of Hermetic Wisdom. Didn't know about that. There's Philosophia Maturata. There we go. Again, didn't know about that. And he's taken quite a few of these alchemical emblemata and illustrations and colorized them, which is pretty cool. The Mystical Kabbalah of Nature, Alchemy, lots and lots and lots of these alchemical texts. It just goes on and on and on. So this post here that I was showing you, where was it? Up here, talking about text number 81, 82, 83, 84, and 85, which he has already translated. So is working at a very, very fast pace. Anyway, if you're interested in alchemy, go and check out Adam McLean's website, the Alchemy Web Bookshop, and browse. Go and have a look at what he's got there. Very, very cool stuff. News from Dr. Stephen Skinner, whose 2 techniques books have been translated into Italian. So we've got Techniques of Graeco-Egyptian Magic and Techniques of Solomonic Magic, both translated into Italian. So if you are an Italian speaker and you would rather have Dr. Skinner's books in a language that's easier for you to read simply, then go and head over to www.venexia.it excuse me, and check out the translations of his books. Ho capito. Okay, let's have a look. Quite a few other interesting looking books over here. Possibly. Yeah, something to look into anyway. There we go. We've got news from Sphere and Sundry, and Caitlin Kopok has given birth. Congratulations, Caitlin and Austin. Congratulations to your new family. Caitlin shares some of her experience of the difficult birth in this write-up for the Postpartum release subsection of Exalted Luna, a subset of Exalted Luna intended primarily for postpartum support. It's not widely available to most people. And it is available to everyone who would like to buy the items, the talismanic materia here. It's just not widely applicable to most people, and the write-up likely won't be of interest to anyone who isn't curious. About Lucian's birth story. I'm sure that anyone who knows anything about Caitlin and Austin will be very interested in this. Amazing, amazing story actually about the difficult birth and how it ended up in a very beautiful way. So go and check that out. And of course, if you are expecting or if you have very recently given birth, then these materia are especially for you to help with the postpartum release. There we are, some very, very lovely items from Sphere and Sundry. Okay, this is a tarot that caught my attention this week. I know it's probably been out for a long time, but it just looks very lovely. I'm a huge fan of Gustave Doré's, and to see his work being put into a tarot deck is exciting. And again, I'm not a tarot specialist. I don't know about every single deck that comes out, and maybe this is like a very obvious one for many of you, but I didn't know about it, and I just think it's very cool. I'm just a very, very big fan of Gustave Doré's etching style. I think it's very, very lovely. Good stuff. And a couple of Kickstarters. So the first one is this Culminus Immortalis. So this is simply, I say simply, it's a playing card deck. It's not a tarot, it's a playing card deck. Actually, it's 3 playing card decks, but I just thought they were particularly beautiful. Istvan shared this link on the Foolish Fish Discord server, and taking a look at them, they just look very cool. So the decks are split angels and demons. I didn't recognize most of the angels or demons here, apart from Saint Michael. It seems to me like probably the names were invented to be something like esoteric names. But it might just be me being ignorant. It's not impossible. You can see, as I say, Michael or Michael over here. Some of them are okay. You can see the same stuff as I'm seeing. Yes, looking at the pips over here, it's making me think that it could be possible to use it in a divinatory form, right? In a divinatory way. They're certainly interestingly illustrated and very beautifully produced. That's without a doubt. All right. Yeah, lovely stuff. Then we've got a tarot, the Telos Tarot of 777, a hand-painted talismanic tarot, ceremonially created with astrological timings through the decans by McLean. And if I just scroll down over here, you'll see that this is quite nice stuff. Here's detail from the Death card. A skeleton with so description as per 777, right? A skeleton with a scythe mowing men. The scythe handle is a towel. I think we get to see the Death card a little bit more clearly a little further down. It seems like this has been created by somebody who deeply understands the tarot from an esoteric perspective. Isn't just reproducing the Rider-Waite-Smith deck with fancy pictures. They seem to be working with source materials from Thelema, of course. I'm not 100% sure I'm in love with the borders, but it's actually written in the write-up that the borders are not definite yet. They're not sure if the borders are going to be like that or some other way. But it does look competent, right? It looks actually magic related rather than just commerce related, which is nice. Yeah, maybe one to look into if you're serious about your tarot, I guess. There we are. And then finally, my board games of the week, and I do say board games because there are two. They are not games that are out yet, but they are announcements. Reiner Knizia board games. So Reiner Knizia has made some of the best board games of the past couple of decades. And these are two board games that have been announced by him, which will be kickstarted in the near future, or at least in the next 6 months to 1 year. And I couldn't be more excited for them. The first is Iliad. So the Trojan War has begun. Both sides of the conflict pursue every advantage they can possibly gain. Two opposing heroes, Hector and the Trojans, and Achilles and the Greeks seek the favor of the gods to lend them support and tip the scales of fate. Only one side will emerge victorious, its hero becoming the legend of the Iliad. That's one. And then the second one is this one, Ichor. The dark monsters of Greek mythology have gathered for one final assault on Mount Olympus. The Greek gods are prepared to defend their sacred ground. Who will prevail in this decisive battle of blood and Ichor? So yes, this is going to be an asymmetric strategy game, which should be kickstarted at the end of this year, I believe. Yeah, there we go. So good stuff all around. Folks, thank you so much for watching the show. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Please support the channel if you would like to support the channel. Obviously, to an extent that is reasonable for you, right? If you're struggling for money, please don't support the channel. But if you're lucky to be in a situation where you can support the creators that you love, then I do have a Patreon, and memberships start at $2 a month, and every level of membership, including the $2 a month, gives access to the Foolish Fish Discord, where you'll find 300 different topics to talk about related to magic in various ways. And you'll find other members there as well who are interested in talking about the same stuff with you. Also, if you'd like to have a one-to-one conversation with me about whatever you'd like, about your spiritual journey, about recommendations for your particular path, then yeah, there's a link down for that as well, so you can have a one-to-one video conference chat with me, and we'll spend a lovely hour today together talking about your life and about how you can move forward with your magical practice, or I can simply read your tarot, or both. We can do all of that. So there we go. That's what I have for you for today. Thank you once again for joining me for the Esoteric News. Take care of yourselves and of each other, and I'll see you very soon with another video. Take care. Bye-bye.